The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
Q101.
Ahoy! Let's go! We're waking up Chicago. Turn up the radio. It's time to start the show. On Q101 with the Morning Crew. Ahoy! Let's go! Welcome to the morning show.
Let's go. Give us that proof of life check-in from the weekend. 312-591-8300. You can text in right now, and also that's how you call.
I wish I could have just texted in. I'm exhausted.
Text in your breaks. I'm reading what Kenzie's saying right now. She's saying...
She had a hilarious comment.
Nope, we're all here.
Okay.
It's that one more milestone of the year is done with Riot Fest.
I know.
It's going, and what an outstanding, epic time it was all weekend. Whether you were, a lot of people checking in. I couldn't work, but I had to work, but I was checking in with you guys on social, so I felt like I was there. You guys posted so well, and just generally, people that were there, it was overwhelming, especially Friday when we were there all day.
It was the big boy was on Friday for you and I.
Woo!
Because we have the morning show first on Fridays. So the rest of the days when we go, we can just go, we can go starting at like 3 or something and we slept. But it was like, I've been up since 3 in the morning and now I'm at the Foo Fighters.
We have a great video of me and Kenzie eating a funnel cake sundae.
I had to talk you into that. It was so funny because you were like, should we get a little snack? And I'm like, what about the funnel cake ice cream sundae that's $25?
Yep.
I would like that for my snack.
And it was a great snack.
Oh my God. You and I looked like idiots because we were covered in powdered sugar.
Like
and we were
3-year-olds.
both wearing black.
Yeah. Like
It just looked horrible.
It was awesome. Seriously.
It was delicious.
I'm telling you, just in a kind of a quick recap. We'll talk about your weekend at 6:40. I want to get your highlights of the weekend, but Foo Fighters put on the best show I've ever seen them do. And I'm not lying. And I know it's...
See, because I haven't seen them more than once. So that was...
I've seen
amazing in comparison, even?
I would say about 7 times I've seen them. And I get it. It's the first time without Taylor, and it's emotional. And I think Dave Grohl made a specific point to let the new drummer, Josh Freese, have some times to shine and win people over. And, you're not going to replace Taylor Hawkins. You're not going to do that. It's impossible. But you got the best guy that could do it technically and brilliantly as a drummer.
Did you enjoy seeing him?
I did.
Because you're more of a music snob than me. Like, I can go see Journey without Steve Perry, and I'm like, I love it. I don't care.
Well, also, I got really nerdy with Case, too, on the way in. I said...
It was shocking.
It was probably the best, Friday especially, and I know we had bad weather yesterday, but the best-sounding Riot Fest I've ever been to, because the wind kind of can affect the sound at times. The speaker placement...
The wind?
Kenzie's not going to appreciate this at all.
He licks his finger and puts it in the air. He's like, I don't know what the sound quality today.
We got about 5 degrees coming out of the southwest now.
Listen, Clark over here with your opinions about the wind traffic.
But Brian's not wrong, because anybody that was at Riot Fest 2019 knows that weekend was so windy that it was hard to hear. But like on Friday especially, it was quicksand into Turnstile into Foo Fighters, and I kept on thinking, these bands sound really loud. The sound is very clear.
Let's not forget the Breeders leading into that playing Cannonball and into the album.
That's right, yeah.
I mean, it was just an epic day of entertainment, and again, Kenzie, the wind can affect that sound. It blows the notes away a little bit. And there was no wind. It was just beautiful, 70 and sunny out, crisp and clear.
It was. Friday, I'm happy that was our longest day at Riot Fest because it was the driest and the warmest.
It was the driest.
Because I got to Riot Fest on Friday, I think at 12:30. It had only been open I had no lines.
Yeah.
I got a lemonade in like 4 seconds.
Kenzie had those big courtesy scissors that open the red ribbon to let everybody in.
Yeah, it was a grand opening.
Like the grand opening.
I was directing bus traffic for the bands.
Yes, come Riot, please, right this way.
Right this way.
Like a new Nissan dealership she was opening.
Oh my God.
And Case just killed it all weekend with his interviews, and including a Violent J from ICP. Forget about Dave Grohl. Let's talk about Violent J from ICP and Corey Feldman.
It was surreal. I don't know if we'll get into this a little bit later, but there was a half hour in the press area. I was doing interviews all weekend. I talked to some of my favorite bands of all time this weekend. It was a huge thrill for me. All of those will eventually be up on Q101's YouTube channel. But there was a half hour in the media area where Violent J of the Insane Clown Posse and Corey Feldman were walking around interacting with one another, interacting with Q101. I interviewed Violent J. We'll hear a little bit of that later. Lauren had like a half-hour sit-down interview with Corey Feldman because he wouldn't stop talking. It was all just one of those... It was an afternoon where you feel like you're lucky to be alive and you're lucky to be a part of this, and it's very much one of those deals that only happens at Riot Fest.
I like how you say you wouldn't stop talking. Corey,
Trust me, you wouldn't stop talking.
That's
The
all.
feelings that Case just described is how I felt when I was eating my funnel cake.
And Brian couldn't stop talking?
Yeah, exactly.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
And Kenzie on Q101 as we talk about your weekends. You know, on Friday we did Q reviews where Kenzie gave an amazing review of Hamilton. We just got back to Chicago. And these are things that change your life. We do it every Friday. Something recently that's changed your life. I brought up that rediscovering Noodles and Company changed my life because we needed a quick dinner Thursday night. And I kind of forgot about, there's so many places out there. I forgot about Noodles and Company. And Emmy checked in from Elgin. Brian, just want to say I actually ended up trying Noodles and Company as you suggested.
I can't.
And
I can't deal with this.
And you're right. I forgot what a hidden gem they can be. They are. I'm telling you, if you haven't, don't sleep on Noodles and Company. Also, she said, Kenzie, I just listened to your pregnancy announcement on the podcast, and congratulations.
Aw, that's so sweet. Thank you.
Pregnant woman at Riot Fest Friday. It was
Me and the baby rioting.
that's right. That's her first concert, or his first concert.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a pretty cool thing to say because, I mean, for Harper, it was Green Day at the Metro, and then Smashing Pumpkins at the Metro.
You want to know something funny, too?
Yeah.
Is my stomach that night, this baby was hype. It was rolling around. I'm like, good Lord.
Yeah.
Big Foo Fighters guy over here.
That's it. You got to remember that. Special moments with the baby in the belly. Those concerts. Coming up, we'll get to a fact that blows your mind. It's beach weather. Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
Well, it is time for a fact that makes your brain go. You can get free cheeseburgers today. Now, normally, these are laughable, and I blow off these days as special days, whatever they are. But it is National Cheeseburger Day in Chicago, so I'm not going to ignore that because it helps you guys out today, especially after Riot Fest weekend or whatever you did this weekend. You always want to eat something decadent a little bit on a Monday. I do anyway, to reward yourself for getting to work on a Monday.
You eat like crap all weekend. You just have an excuse for every day. There's a different reason why you should eat like crap.
I look at fruits and vegetables. I look at them and think about purchasing them and changing my life.
You're like, it's the thought that counts.
So here's some ways to get some free burgers today. For example, our guys Wendy's. Through Friday, Junior Bacon Cheeseburgers cost 1 cent with any online purchase.
Wow.
And that's not just today. It's today, but all week you get that. McDonald's double cheeseburgers are 50 cents today through the app. This is why you got to download the apps to these places because that's the online orders and the apps, so they're trying to drive people there, so that's where you get the best deals. You get points. Let's see here. Dairy Queen, free cheeseburger with any order of $1 or more. So you get a Blizzard, get a free cheeseburger.
I like that.
White Castle, buy one.
Get 47 for free. I'm assuming. What is their deal?
Let's do it. Buy one, get one slider through Wednesday, but only one per customer. So be careful on that. You're right. God, so you do know the White Castle experience.
Oh, God. It's the jumbo boxes.
Thank God. Get the Crave case.
Yeah.
And you're pregnant. I can see you just going like, I need a Crave case to take care of business.
Oh, God. I haven't had White Castle in forever.
You ever had it sober?
Only when I was a child did I have it sober. That's just not... I don't think any normal human being is just, in the middle, at noon, from their 9 to 5, hits White Castle. I don't even think they need to be open during the day.
It is odd that you see they're open during the day and people are in there eating, and it's like, what are they doing?
For some reason, it gives such late night energy.
Oh, it is so...
It just does.
It is the best thing to hit like that at that hour, like just late, and you got to, hopefully it doesn't need a driver, and you just need those. I need 47 burgers, like right now, 18 fries and 2 Cokes.
And the good news is 47 burgers is the number 5 meal.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine.
Burger King has deals for the next 3 days, too. Let's see. A free cheeseburger with any purchase. Tomorrow it's free Whopper Jr. on Wednesday, and Whoppers cost $3. $3? That doesn't sound like a good deal. $3 for a Whopper?
Okay, but you're forgetting... A Whopper is like their really, really good one. Like McDonald's just has their double cheeseburger. It's not like their Big Mac is $3.
Double cheeseburger is just as filling as a Big Mac.
But you can get a double cheeseburger, I think, for like $1.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Give me like, here's something. I discovered this recently only. that small Cheval, I think it's a hot take, is better than all Cheval. The original place. Like
Really?
all Cheval's like labeled one of the best burgers in the country if you've never been there. And they just opened a small Cheval at Wrigley Field. And we've walked over there before, and I'm telling you, I'm not saying it's like dramatically better. All Cheval is amazing, but I think small Cheval, kind of liking how they packaged it together. Now they
What
probably
was
say
better about it?
I don't know. It just felt a little more. Here's the thing: all Cheval is very hipster, and it's awesome. It's a really cool place. You want to get a great vibe, and they have like music playing on a reel-to-reel machine. Really swanky, I guess is the word to use, or hipsterish. Whereas small Cheval's just kind of like you go in there, it's like a sports bar kind of deal, especially at Wrigley Field over there.
So it's not that any of the food's better, just your preferred vibe.
I felt like I was being judged in all Cheval because I'm not a hipster. So
I have a question for you.
yes, this is gonna be
Because
good.
I think of like sometimes like Au Cheval's, it's tiny and it's like a tight restaurant.
Yes.
Being your like height and size, do you just feel so? Are your knees like lifting the table up? Are you so uncomfortable?
You think I'm walking in there like a bull and just
Totally.
like knocking?
It's just like, oh God. Because even sometimes I'm like, oop, that's a tight fit. And I'm 5'2", and it's all torso. I have no legs. My leg's as long as my arm.
So you picture me like Will Ferrell walking in there and just knocking over everything.
Oh my
'cause
God. Are you just so uncomfortable when you go into those really tightly packed restaurants?
I've got to say, you've actually hit it on the head. And it is very small and tight in there. So I
Yes.
don't feel comfortable, whereas the small Cheval's bigger.
I know. It's like one of those. It's like those high school days where you call the really like chunky, massive fraternity guy like Lil John or something.
Yeah. Little John.
It's like there's a lot more space in small Cheval.
I got to say, maybe that's just it. The burger's exactly the same, but I just like more room.
You don't feel out of place.
It's
Like
more
a
roomy.
giant.
I can swim a little bit in here. Thank God. Go get yourself a free cheeseburger today or a discounted cheeseburger. And even all
Are
week.
you gonna get us cheeseburgers to celebrate?
celebrate?
Brian,
Yes.
you just listed all these deals. You can't spend $3 on me in case.
It's not going to be. When the delivery fee comes, it's going to be like $72. Do you know I spent $100 this weekend on one of those rickshaws to get us out of
so I
Riot
say you
Fest?
spend money on other people.
Oh, I had a baby to go get home to. We don't need burgers right now. We'll survive without a burger.
You would have survived with it. You could have walked your large ass to the pink line. You didn't have to take a bike.
Gotta admit, could have used the steps. Would have been nice. All right, maybe we'll get burgers later. It's Brian and Kenzie, Q101. Give us the highlight of your weekend, whether it was Riot Fest or not. 312-591-8300.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
Q101 is Brian and Kenzie, and it is Monday, and we check in with you on the weekend. Give us the highlight of your weekend. Doesn't have to be really the Riot Fest. I know we've talked a lot about it. Of course, it was a tremendously ridiculous show. And as I said, I stand by it, though. Best performance ever by the Foo Fighters I've ever seen. And I've seen them at the Metro. I've seen them at the Rosemont Horizon. I've seen them in every setting in Chicago you can see them in. And they were amazing. But boy, Friday night, I should say. I almost said last night. Getting in from the weekend. I'll tell you what I did do. I drank too many of those 8% Riot Pops.
Which was your favorite flavor?
The Purple Nurple.
Was it?
The purple. I stayed steady Purple Nurple all
you
night.
did it the whole time? You should have tried. The cherry was really good.
So Kenzie was a good girl there and drank the 0%.
Well, I'm pregnant, so.
You're pregnant, that's right. Not much. Not
I'm
much of
such a good person.
Not much of a leap there. She was concerned, and I don't know if anybody out there, a health professional, knows this. One of them had CBD in it, and you said, "I'm not sure I can have CBD." So
I really didn't know the answer, or like you're probably allowed to have CBD, but it's probably a percentage thing, and I'm like, I don't have that. Like, I'm allowed to have caffeine, but it's like 200 milligrams a day, right? It's like I have my one. I used to bring in a tanker full of coffee, and now I just bring in like a normal sized
Dunkin'.
small Dunkin' or whatever. I can have that, and then that's it, right? So I'm like, I don't know if this would go over what I'm allowed to have. It made me nervous, so I just went with the 0% everything.
It was great, the Riot Pop, and they had everything from a 0 to a 5% to an 8. And yeah, I drank way too many of the 8s.
Yeah.
And it was so good, that Purple Nurple. I hope they end up selling that. I don't know what they're doing with it after Riot Fest, like if they're going to sell it in stores or some way to order it, but I want to keep drinking it.
And what I thought was interesting, I didn't know what to expect with the Riot Pop because I got this straight up, I got a cherry 0%, right? It was very refreshing. It was not like cherry soda.
Right.
Which is what I thought it was going to be. And it would be heavy, but it was more than a seltzer water. for sure. Like, it
Oh.
had more to it than that.
Big time.
But it was more on the wavelength of a seltzer water than like a Coke or a Pepsi with cherry flavor.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I thought it was going to be like super like, whoa, grenadine. And it was like, I feel really refreshed and healthy.
It was refreshing and delicious.
It was.
Especially the 8%.
I bet.
Well, and just again, I want to thank everybody that came by, the Q101 tent, our area. So much love, so much fun on Friday, all day on that beautiful day, and all weekend, no question. In fact, Case the producer bumped into Violent J from ICP yesterday.
I know.
And Case described a situation in the backstage of press area where Corey Feldman and Violent J from ICP were hanging out with each other. So you get the big headliners, you get the Foo Fighters and Turnstile. By the way, I finally saw Turnstile. Didn't like in Lollapalooza when I missed them 2 years ago to go swimming. Turnstile ripped. They destroyed. It was so good.
Did you actually go, or are you just saying that, Case?
No, I did. I couldn't find Case. Case was up in the pit, so I couldn't get up to him. But I after I walked you to your
so
car.
he can't confirm or deny that you were even there?
That's true. I never made eye contact with Brian at Turnstile.
I took a video on my phone. I'll show it to you.
I haven't seen the video yet. Yeah, please show it to me.
I could have just got a video from someone else.
You also could have maybe posted the video to Q101 socials. Jesus, Brian.
I'm sorry. It was really, listen, it was real hectic. Kenzie, I disappeared from Kenzie a little bit. She, for a while. We got separated for a little while.
Brian is the worst. So what happened was...
Okay, that's a blanket statement.
So basically, we had a plan of a lot of stuff. Obviously, we're the morning shows. We were trying to do things together.
Sure.
And at the Riot Fest.
Yeah.
And Megan got there at one point, your
My
wifey,
wife.
with her friends. And I went to go say hi and everything, but I didn't want to, intrude. And I felt like you guys were, all catching up. And I'm like, okay, do what you want to do for a little bit and then text me when you want to go, watch a show or do another video, maybe the merch tent or go to the Q101 tent and meet listeners. Let me know. He didn't text me for 2 hours. I couldn't find him anywhere. He didn't text me back. I called him.
Listen.
And then he goes, when I saw him again, you know what he said to me, Case?
I don't know what he said.
He goes, oh my God, you should have been at the Q101 tent. Everyone was asking for you. He had the nerve to say that to me. And I go, yeah, no, that would have been great. You could have literally wrote, come to Q101 tent. I didn't need a paragraph. I would have walked over. I couldn't find you anywhere.
7 years ago at the Q101. No, Brian, just send the text.
Yeah.
I just felt weird pulling my phone out in the middle of great conversation and connection with people.
But you said people brought me up. You could have been like, you know what? Let me text her right now so she comes over here.
Yeah, you think you like talking about her? Why don't you meet her?
She's here. I could have even...
This is classic Brian. It's because he didn't want anyone to meet me.
And that's not true.
Yes, it's so true.
Not true at all.
You're like, yeah, Kenzie chick. Anyways, you think I'm funny? You remember me? I used to be Sludge. You remember? He doesn't want me there. And he knows it.
Like a one listener pontificated about on the air once. I don't care what Brian says about you. You're awesome.
Exactly.
Like I'm talking smack every time I'm not with you.
Yeah, I'm sorry, you didn't even invite me to the tent. I work here too, Brian.
I guess I could have even used the number 2 to save time. Come to Q tent. I could have done that pretty easy.
I literally would have been like, okay.
It was just overwhelming, and I was in a moment there. I was getting emotional.
Overwhelmed. Because he certainly didn't want to share the whelming, did he? He's like, you should have seen how many people loved me. And I'm like, okay.
It was a glorious time over there.
Yeah,
all
and he
weekend.
didn't want me to be part of it.
That's
at
not
all.
true. Listen, you're a grown woman. You could have just walked over.
I was walking around Riot Fest, pregnant and alone, looking for you. I was. I walked by all the carnival rides, I was in the stores, I went to the media tent. Those things aren't close together, Brian.
Did they refuse you on the rides because you're pregnant?
Yeah, I couldn't ride anything.
Oh, that's terrible. That's
and
terrible.
I had no one to take any videos with
Oh.
when I went to do stuff. So I did walk around for quite some time looking for you.
I apologize. I got a little carried away.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's hear.
I'm a grown woman. I'm aware.
Case talked to Violent J from ICP, and we had the other interviews. They're all up there, but it's just fun to play this audio from Insane Clown Posse talking about. Well, he's talking about Billy Corgan here. Didn't know they were friends.
No. Okay, so real quick. So I had a bunch of interviews scheduled throughout the weekend. I talked to some of my favorite bands. At one point, right after I finished talking to the band Drain, who will be banned from Riot Fest going forward, which we got into.
Whoa.
Somebody comes up to me and goes, hey, man, Violent J is around. Do you want to interview him? Which the answer is, of course, yes, I do. But then everybody in your car right now, do the exercise that I did, which after you confirm you're interviewing Violent J of the Insane Clown Posse, you have to go, wait, what do I want to talk to him about? It's kind of endless. So I had a bunch of people throw a bunch of questions at me, and then I didn't have to ask him anything because I was wearing a Smashing Pumpkins t-shirt, and Violent J took it upon himself to talk about his relationship with Billy Corgan.
Hey, I see you got my boy's shirt on.
Smashing Pumpkins, Billy Corgan, Siamese Dream, 30th anniversary.
That's right.
You get along with the Smashing Pumpkins?
That's my boy.
You're down with the pumpkin.
No, not only I've been down.
You've been down.
But I never thought I would be texting and hanging out with Billy Corgan.
What's it like texting with Billy Corgan? What do you guys talk about?
That's what's crazy is I basically talk about, what am I doing texting you, dude?
That's amazing.
And why are you responding? You know what I'm saying? But we're also doing a song together.
Is that right? Yeah. A Smashing Pumpkins ICP collab?
Something that's going to blow the moon into particles and straight up the butt.
Oh.
Yeah. That's how good it's going to be, Brian. It's going to blow the moon into particles.
This is a breaking news that ICP and the Pumpkins are Billy Corgan doing a song together.
Yeah, we have that scoop at Q101.
See Billy Corgan going, we's going chicken hunting.
More coming up all morning long. And, of course, on our socials, if you go to Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, everything's up there. And Q101.com from the weekend. Let us know how your weekend was. A highlight from your weekend, whether it's Riot Fest related or not. 312-591-8300. Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.
So we're asking you about the highlight of your weekend at 312-591-8300. We always do this on Monday mornings. Wow. A lot going on. What do you got there, Kenzie? Is it Kevin that...
Yeah, so Kevin checked it in. Highlight of his weekend was being at the Hollywood Bowl in California, seeing the Lumineers, was a trip he won from us.
Oh, hell yeah.
How cool is that?
That's amazing.
A whole vacation.
Lumineers at the Hollywood Bowl even texted some pictures to us, and if we can post those, man, let us know, Kevin. That is so cool. 630 checked in. My husband and I had a lazy Sunday, and then had some sex. And then he left for a fun day, and I didn't leave my house. Some cleaning, catching up to do, read my book, watched some Modern Love. Fantastic day. I guess you should work that in. Some sex.
All right.
Morning sex on Sunday is really good. That's really good.
As opposed to your other days? Or?
I don't know. I just love that kind of feeling on a Sunday morning, and you've done that, the thing. And
I'm more of a Saturday morning person because I know that I don't have to go into work the next day.
Yeah. So
I usually wake up on Sunday and then cry. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, Sunday scaries kick in.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Sundays is kind of nice. Dakota. No easy transition from there, Dakota. Ahoy, what's going on?
Ahoy, good morning. Okay, so I know all of you guys were at Riot Fest. I decided to watch the comet that's only going to be around, I guess it was newly discovered in August.
Yeah.
I think it's a comet called like the Nishimura or something.
Yeah.
And it's only like every, I think they said 422 years, if not 700. And so I saw it on Thursday night at the top of the Loyola Hill over in like Northbrook area. But then I went again on Friday, and I'm like, well, it's cloudy. It's not going to work. Nothing's going to happen. Little did I know that I actually got to see it even better that night. And between the clouds, I actually saw it fizzle out and then reignite itself. And that was mind-blowing.
That is nuts. I'm a space nerd too, Dakota, and I wanted to see it, but I was busy, with some drunk girls there.
Well, the other thing is you have to find a really high elevated area where there's not a lot of light pollution. So you would have had to drive out, I don't know, to Columbia and see, your brother and stuff, which would have been awesome. But you were doing other things. That's okay. So
it's funny that Glenview is the marking point of no more light pollution out there when it's still a pretty populated area. I'd picture you said something like go up, to the chain of lakes or somewhere near the border, go up to Elgin where Kenzie lives, somewhere out there to get a little bit of less light.
Yeah, well, and so Loyola has this sports hill that they use for like all their lacrosse and soccer games kind of in the Glen. And they actually had it open for this reason so people could go up and like see this.
Damn.
And so I went up there and nobody was there on Friday night. I was the only one there. And I was like, this is incredible. Why is nobody else here?
Oh.
They're Riot Fest.
Yeah, they probably were there. Right.
But no, so that was magical. I had my binoculars, got to witness that. My dad got to witness it because he's in Grays Lake. So it was really cool to be able to like call him at the same time. He's like, do you see it, kiddo? Do you see it? I'm like, yes, I do. That was really cool.
Aww.
That was my exciting moment for the weekend.
That's good. I like it.
Thank you.
Dakota,
I'm glad you can appreciate it.
I can, and you have a stellar day, okay, Dakota?
You guys guys too. Thank you much.
Gil Curtis here with your headlines to who didn't see any comments.
This is not headline news. The United Auto Workers are on strike against General Motors, Ford, and Stellantis. They're demanding higher wages, better benefits, and for Stellantis to change its name back to Chrysler. Because what kind of name is Stellantis?
Right?
Breakfast cereal sales are in sharp decline. Sales are so bad the Honeycomb Hideout is being rented out as an Airbnb. Cereal sales so bad Captain Crunch asked Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis to vouch for him. One of the main reasons both the Army and Navy failed to meet their recruiting goals is that many potential recruits are disqualified because of obesity. So the only colonel in their life will be Sanders. This is not headline news.
The Q101 Morning Crew.
On Q101.